Hello, hello. Okay, so I pulled some cards and I actually did the reading, recording, but it didn't record the audio. So I have the cards here. I was feeling called to not take the cards away and go through them because I do feel like this is at least for one person who's going to find this video. So first we got you're being helped. So I feel like, oh, and this is about a relationship or like being wanting to be in a relationship, like a higher level relationship or like a more loving relationship, etc., etc. So that you're being helped. I do feel like energies on the other side are helping you and another person to come together. I do feel that you have a connection to dolphins, mermaids, underwater civilizations such as Atlantis or Lemuria. I don't know if I'm saying Lemuria right, but I don't. That's not even the extent of it. It's just like those types of underwater civilizations. You may feel very connected with underwater creatures from this world or mythical. Mythical, but like, how did they really make those up, right? Like, how could that not actually be real, or someone saw them at some point, etc. But either way, it feels like you're very connected to um, those kind of things, mermaids, dolphins, underwater civilizations, and kind of always wondered, why am I so connected, etc., etc. But anyway, it feels like um, you're meant to come together with someone else who is also connected with that, and you might have even known this person when you were both in those civilizations. So you may feel a very like different kind of connection versus like two people that have known each other on earth, like earth based connections that can seem a little more heavy and I won't say karmic dominant, but that's the only way I know how to say it. It's like it feels like there might have been a lot of fights, a lot of not only fights, but not being able to like sit down and truly talk about it and come to resolution. It feels like fights and then like kind of like, oh, forgetting about it, let's just move on. And then, but then that builds resentment and all that stuff. So it's like, feels like there's been a lot of earth-based connections, but this connection that's coming up, or you could have known the person and now you could have met them briefly before and then now they're coming back. But I don't know. That might be just be for one person. I feel like this might even be a new person coming in. But again, you could have met them briefly and they could have been with someone, something like that, and then now they've broken up with that person and now you guys are going to like come together again. There is something weird with that. So you may know who they are, or you could just be meeting this person like through a friend, or through there could be some big event that like a friend is inviting you to. It almost feels like you may be invited. So this could be for a couple of people. Okay. So anyway, I want to keep this short. So basically, I feel whomever this is for, truly they okay. It feels like in the past they've gone with partners or connections where there's been a lot of arguments and power struggles. Okay, in either direction, I'm not sure. But it feels almost like you might have even stayed because you were very empathetic. It says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So you might have stayed in connections because you were so understanding. But then it felt like you came to a point where you literally were just not getting what you needed. So it's like you were so empathetic and you stayed and you stayed. And you try to understand their side, and then you're just like, wait a second, I need something more. The Empress is out here, so I do feel like you're definitely standing in the Empress energy, which is extremely difficult in my opinion, especially in this earthly world. I feel like you're standing in this Empress energy though, which is again an amazing feat. Feels like you've had some partners who were maybe betrayed you in some way. I want to say, I want to bring up this one partner. He or she feels very cold and detached unemotionally, or I'm sorry, emotionally very cold and detached. I do feel like you walked away from this, but I do, yeah. It feels like they just weren't in touch with their heart center. It's almost like they couldn't even get in touch with it, even if they wanted to. Or I don't want to say that, but it was very difficult for them, and I'm not even sure they did. But now I feel like you're going to find the King of Cups energy, very loving, very what you really want. But I feel like you did